seal isn't so bad on a quiet day like this, is it?
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Pay the big change on your book for the wheel of the good stuff.
Aim straight, aim true. Arrows by the dozens.
Potent heat.
Concerns myself with such things.
Dear me. Oh, how the coast reminds me of my long-fled youth. I sailed the seas. I walked the worlds. Oh, how nice it is of you. The very picture of youth, to break the monotony of an elder's day. Wild away on this hardwood bench. Pray, let me be forward with you. O sapling rose, O leaf of spring, for my weary mind is troubled, and would highly prize thy gentle-handed assistance, thy kind ministrations. I am but an aged elf that has seen the years parade in long succession. Gladly shall I tell you more. Will I regale thee, O whelp of men, with my tale? But not here, where the winds may steal my words. You would listen to my grievances, guide me towards untroubled realms. Oh, you are truly a wonder, oh budding flower of the morn. Yet that which I would tell you is of a rather private nature. So let us escape both the chill and the eye of public scrutiny. Hot spiced wine and a snug little room awaits us on the King Crab's first floor. Let us go there, so that we can warm our bones, yet make shiver our hearts with a tale of loss and sorrow.
Concerns myself with such things. They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend. Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Ha! The closest I've come to my match is when I linger over long while fighting my fight.
Careful now.
Looks like the mortician is rather suspicious about Jake.
What could Mayor Cecil, Captain Aureus, or Evelyn have to do with it?
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Or have those infernal statues sent another soul flying to his death? Sad story, that. Though if I'm speaking plainly, the sentimental aspect of it all doesn't make much of an impression on an undertaker. Especially not these days, with so many laid low by the orcs and such like. I just concern myself with giving the remains a respectable exit from life. We set him to rest in the northern graveyard. Perhaps he can finally get a little peace. How do you... Ah, the ledger, is it? Fool was I to leave it in the open. Or perhaps I even looked forward to being found out. Well, as you know, I have my suspects in the matter. What would you like to know? Plenty of us shopkeepers entrust the mayor with the spare keys to our businesses, you know. And he's the only person in town with a second copy of the key to the mortuary. He could have used it to sidle in without a peep, if he were so inclined. Aureus himself paid me a visit the night the body was delivered. Came rapping at my door in the frosty morning before the sun had even started peeping, and told me to tell him, and only him, if I noticed anything strange or suspicious about the remains. Can't see why he'd bothered to go through all that trouble, unless he knew something the rest of us don't. I know it sounds strange suspecting the doctor's apprentice of something so ghoulish as this, but there's few in this city could manage to transport a corpse without raising eyebrows. It was she who delivered Jake's body from the inn to the mortuary. And there was something about her that night. Some kind of excitement. Seemed she could barely contain her thoughts. That there was something thrilling about to happen. I can't quite settle it in my mind how a young medical professional would have such a strange reaction to an occasion such as that. And this may or may not have anything to do with the whole rigmarole. But her master, Dr. Theleron, bought an old shack of mine, one overtaken by undead, for an exorbitant price considering what he was getting. I never did figure what he wanted it for, but he sure seemed eager. I never saw a widow less distraught at the death of her husband, and I've seen hundreds pass through my parlor. It was she who rang my bell just before the body was snatched, lured me outside claiming she needed air before discussing the funeral arrangements. Some accomplice could have sneaked in and grabbed the remains while I was comforting the oh-so-overcome Esmeralda. That gold's the only good thing to come out of this blasted affair, and I certainly plan on making some use of it. Killer of the community? Ha! Half this city doesn't know my name, and the other half regards me as the spirit of death itself. I'll keep my reward, thanks, and the community can think whatever it wants. So, what's the bad news? More ask 1,000 times if you like. I'd rather risk a flight to the north than hand over this fortune.
Here lies Catherine. I know, I was great. Here lies Jared. Shall I come back as an enraged spirit or a lovable prankster ghost? Here lies Patrick. You can kill me, but you'll never kill the dancer inside me. Here lies Gregory, whose wife told him so. Here lies Judith, warrior princess. Here lies Neil, killed in the line of duty. I want to go home. Here lies Kimberly, finally.
Looks like that dog is awfully agitated.
Perhaps he wants to tell us
Here
something.
lies Jacques, the oldest man in Sicil. Get off my grave, you jackanapes. Here lies James, as usual, the filthy fibber. Here lies Kavanagh. Will they have Sicil pie in the afterlife? Here lies Jake. Please do not disturb.
What trickery is this? That's not Jake.
It's a rotting sheep's corpse. It seems someone snatched Jake's body.
Everything we do seems to fortify your abilities. Have no fear, my friend. I'm determined to prove my worth to you by our journey's end.
Rest in peace, darling. May the seven keep you. May the seven keep you. Rest in peace, darling. May the seven keep you. Heard any good tales, my friend? Bear daughter seems about to leap up and grasp you in her arms, but thinks better of it and silently stands at attention.
Careful now. Your head's grown more swollen than saffron.
Ready to advance, ready to defend. What can I do for you, comrade? Onward! Sword to sword, comrades! Ready to advance, ready to defend. What can I do for you, comrade? But
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave?
Heard any good take? Fine, my friend.
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Or have those infernal statues sent another soul flying to his death? Like I said, I'm sure as sin not the ghoul responsible for snatching that body. Far as I can reckon, it's a sad story that I just concern myself with ask 1,000 times.
Solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Let's see. Hamlet, sheep's cheese.
Source hunters, eh? All right, proper, we're finally getting a hand. Things is chaos. If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night like me dear plump Ogget, the finest in me herd. That louse! Did he even bother grilling a single luscious chop? I bet he wasted every last morsel. Captain Aureus will have a thing or two to say about this.
Greetings! These stalls are for our Legion troops. Rivellon's finest work up mighty fine appetite serving the seven.
Recruits! That was sloppier than Sicilian stew. Again!
Hi, Mr. Head Honcho Legionnaire. The source hunter says that creep Robert stole my sheep.
And?
Well, aren't you going to arrest that stinking thief?
I'll have a talk with him, madam. Oh, what now? Yes? Discovered anything? If you must.
Attention! About face! Show the barracks! March!
can choose the finest greens.
Sauce hunters, eh? If you've got a favourite sheep, throwing that hog in the grinder can hardly make up for the loss of my sweet, succulent hogget. But I admit, it softens the sting a bit. I'll buy myself a new lamb and have a fine veal supper in honour of me lost hoggy woggy. Now that the herd's gone, old Birchie's just scratching by like a hen till the next batch of beasties comes through. I recently sold most of the tender loves to a trader heading north. Plenty of business that way these days. Those miners must be preparing for a mighty great feast. Wish I could have a nibble on my dear darlings, all ground and spiced.
You'll be concerned enough when you realise that reward money won't be lining your pocket.
Peace be with you, traveller. May your lost loved ones rest in peace. I once lived a prosperous life with my husband and our happy little daughter, Loney. But when the undead plague broke out, my dear husband was among the first killed. Loney never recovered from the loss. And when a group of mercenaries, predators, more aptly called, came to town dangling the opportunity to annihilate those undead devils, Loney lapped up their rhetoric and joined without so much as a backward glance. She was killed less than a week after she joined. Here she lies, and here I stand, mourning the death of my last joy.
That shovel has proven worth its weight, it seems. Oh, for the seven's sake! Those shining eyes are better fit for a puppy than a sauce hunter.
Meet your demise!
and restored.
May I be valiant as the Lion of Summer. Glory in this death.
A stitch in time, eh, my friends? Back into the fray!
Back into the fray.
My life is ebbing away. This day we fight. This day we win!
you see a shady-looking figure fishing coins of gold out of the muddy water that pools beneath the well overhead. His movements are quick and nervous, but nevertheless, he seems to enjoy stuffing what cash he can find into the many pockets of his shabby garb. So absorbed is he in his coin hoarding that at first he doesn't notice your presence. Suddenly, though, he pauses, looks up, and quick as a cat its talons, readies 2 daggers. Your friendly tone of voice has immediate effect. The man quickly relaxes his aggressive stance, sheathes his weapons, and pulls a quill and a scrap of parchment out of one of his pockets. Dexterously, he writes down a couple of phrases, then holds it out for you to read.
Mute, can't speak. You look professional. You the source hunter the wizard asked for?
Excitedly, the man turns over the scrap and pens a few more lines.
Name's Woolgraf. I admire you. No hero like Source Hunter. Sicil, dead end. Please let me join you.
Woolgraf nods enthusiastically and pulls a couple of ripped parchment pieces out from his vestments. Hastily, he covers them with words and pushes them in your hands, one after the other.
Been mute since I was a kid. Sorcerers took my voice. People think I'm stupid. I'm not. Get money, food where I can. Steal if I must. Not from poor folks. I'm a good sneak, good fighter, good with logs. See things you don't. Want to help you. I'm useful. Want to catch sorcerers. Make 'em pay. Please.
Woolgraf eagerly catches your gaze with the best puppy eyes imitation he can muster.
Be welcome, Woolgraf. Riches await, if you'll obtain them for us.
Woolgraf smiles and shakes your hand in thanks. With a gesture of the arm, he seems to say, I'm ready, lead the way.
What a deluge!
Hold! Our enemies have laid a trap. Look out, I see a trap nearby.
Wolgraff spotted a trap. Sudden emotion's a sign of warning. There's a dangerous spot somewhere around here.
I've spotted something.
Sea seal isn't so bad on a quiet day like this, is it?
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
Toasty.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots. Well, what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver? Poison? Get to the point.
Fire! Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an armed elemental will inject some vim into your routine. Get it while it's fresh. This batch is only hours from the sea.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Join the Spud Club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Fresh haddock.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Lord, son. Spirit. Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Well, hello there.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Quite down the market, it seems.
Dearest customer, I've never seen an aura so plagued by ether. Thank Astarte, I've just the earth scroll to ground you.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Well, hello there.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Not in the mood for cheese. Their excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine woman there.
Quite down the market, it seems.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew 'em, spice 'em, stir and churn. Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Not in the mood for cheese. Their excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine woman there.
A good day to you.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Dearest customer, I've never seen an aura so plagued by ether. Thank Astarte, I've just the earth scroll to ground you.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff. Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes. Quite down the market, it seems.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set
friends as the man with many cheeses.
Heavenly Harry, delicious dogfish. Yours for a scrap goldfish. I'm straight. I'm true. Harry's by the dozen.
Dearest customer, I've never seen an aura so plagued by ether. Thank Astarte, I've just the earth scroll to ground you.
Who's ever seen?
Sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine.
Hey, stop that! We'll have none of that, you hear? You there! Cut it out!
Volume 1, Volume 2. But where's the third one gone? Shut so. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night.
Join the Spud Club if you got an eye for farm potatoes. My, what a strong and handsome officer you are, kind Septimus. You must have fought many a battle, am I right? In fact, I bet you're a real war hero.
Oh, I'm no hero, Esmeralda dearest. I'm just doing my duty. For the Legion.
Well, you certainly are my hero. The rock upon which I may rest my weary soul in these trying and troubled times.
Never fear, my lady. As long as I'm around, no hair on your haloed head shall be harmed.
Lonesome, spiritless, perhaps resting an Dear Septimus, that you haven't been fighting those awful orcs. I can't bear to imagine something would happen to you.
Oh, but don't you worry, my lady. We Legionnaires are highly trained soldiers who fear neither orc nor demon.
Oh, but what if you were to be ambushed, caught unawares? Oh, catch me, for I might faint.
A book about setting up the perfect crime.
If
Esmeralda has
only the popular girls
interesting
from the
taste in
Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become. If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
Ah, so that's what that did. A bloody dagger. Could this have been involved in the crime?
If only the popular
certainly
girls from the
piques one's
Source
interest,
Academy could
doesn't
see how edgy and dangerous you've become. If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
by the Legion should tragedy befall you on the battlefield?
I suppose so. But seeing that I'm neither.
Polite, handsome, and single. Don't go anywhere tonight, Legionnaire. I'd be afraid alone.
Why is she keeping those on hand anyhow? Sentimental reasons?
What's that gleam?
The hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth. Listen, if you're going to accuse me of something, you would better find the evidence to back up your ridiculous claims. Oh, that horrid tome of ill repute. It isn't mine, it was Jake's. He was a politician, don't you see? Always on the lookout for plotting rivals. Always trying to be one step ahead. Really, I should have thought a source hunter of all people would appreciate my dear husband's sense for survival. Perhaps it is you who should explain your presence in my cellar. And the dagger? It's simply a butcher knife used by my late husband to cut meat. He did so love to cook, the dear. What'll you think of next? Accusing me of bashing him over the head with a frying pan? Starstone? I've never heard of such a thing. Dear Jake had a mineral collection, yes. As far as I knew, it was one of his pastimes, nothing more. Do you mean to imply he collected something dangerous? Something that may have gotten him into trouble? Oh, this is all too much. I feel like I'm drifting from nightmare into nightmare.
Cheese? Their excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Corbin best.
Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
The closest I've got to my match is when I lead her at the long bar biting my pie.
Woolgraf spotted a trap.
Sweet relief.
Move along.
Greetings, greetings. Oh, you are most welcome in my chamber. Customers rarely find me up here, but I do so abhor the hustle and bustle of the marketplace. That I am. I have spent more of my life on the road travelling alongside great caravans than I have in any given place in Rivellon. All of this earth is my home, for a few days or even but a few hours at a time, that is. You wouldn't believe some of the things I have seen. Oh yes, a city besieged by the dead isn't even remotely special to me. All the better that it isn't, for you and for me, because outlandish events lead to outlandish wares. Oh, but let us not discuss. Let us browse and barter.
The hunters go stalking in the night. By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all in blood!
How gratifying to see you return. You are quickly becoming my favorite customer.
Million bleeder, they'll end it all! End it all in blood! By the filed teeth of Suruma Soul Shredder, the end is nigh. Death comes a creeping for you, Victoria! By the filed teeth of Suruma Soul Shredder, the end is nigh. Death comes a creeping for you, Victoria! Soon the last will be beaten. Beaten like the anvil of Grog, the torturer. All hail, Grog! All hail his hot-steeled instruments.
How gratifying to see you return. You are quickly becoming my favorite customer.
By the filed teeth of Suruma Soul Shredder, the end is nigh. Death comes a creeping for you, Victoria! The hunters go a-stalking in the night. By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all! End it all in blood! The hunters go a-stalking in the night. By the needles of the million bleeder, they'll end it all! End it all in blood! By the filed teeth of Suruma Soul Shredder, the end is nigh. Death comes a creeping for you, Victoria! filed teeth of Sulumar Soul Shredder. The end is nigh. Death comes a-creeping for you, Victoria! Soul Shredder. The end is nigh. Death comes a-creeping for you, Victoria!
You have come, yes. That is most satisfactory. Begone, brittle mask of age. Hear me now repeat the words of Brittletooth, the child snatcher of Carador. Come, play with me, for I'm hungry. Come, play, play, play! The game, yes! A game of blood and brutality, of death and dexterity. Fun as herring the horror harlequin. But, like the serpentine stalker hisses before the stab, hush now, darkness, darling, hush, hush, and listen to my tale. The elves of Gandavon, they lived in peace, oh yes. But one night, when the moon had hid her face, the orcs of the tribe of Kazuldagar beset our city. They cooked and ate and burned every last one of us. The light of dawn never saw an elf of Gandavon no more. All undone. Every last one of us. Except for me, the midnight rambler, away from the city. I was very old back then already, though indeed I whisper of many years hence. But death shall not find me. Oh no, not until every beast of Kazuldagar has been bled. I may be frail, a withered grey, but the wealth of kings is mine. Countless assassins have ministered to the vengeance that is my want, and now is almost over. By Kala, Lady of the Last Gaze, I swear it is almost done. Only the very last one of the Kazuldagar still eludes me. The crowning kill that would seal its fate and mine alike. I have tracked her down. By the curse of the spine spear I have. She does not know her ill-shapen sun is setting fast. Color the dusk red, O sword of youth. Bloody the day with the bramble sap that runs through the veins of Victoria. Bring me the amulet that clings to her flesh, soon to fade. And yours shall be the bounty of vindication. Mine shall be its sanguine satisfaction after long, long last. Yes, Victoria. She is the one whose heart must be held in hand,
the heart around which the fingers of that hand must clench and tighten until its choking flesh bulges with blood and its beat slowly breaks. The orcs of Gazuldagar, they knew my name. Oh yes, by the bite of the roving rattler, they knew my design. And so they sought to save their last, an infant, she who was to be queen. To no avail, oh no. Years, how many I know not. Years I searched, and now she has been found. Her name is that of a woman, her employment that of a civilized being. But by the fork of Barbara Man-Eater, she is nothing but an orc, a cyst of nature, one of a misbegotten litter dragged into life from the tumoured womb of a filthy, coarse-haired beast that was humped like a dog in the darkness of a stinking hollow. Victoria, librarian, daughter, adopted child of Cecil, Mayor of Sicile. There is bloodlust in you. I can feel it. Let it out. Set it free. Undo the last of the Kazuldagar. By the breasts of Sishara Goatsuckler, give me my revenge! My name is Eglandir Twil Selanar, elf of the House of Gandavum, the slaughtered House of Gandavum. But by the twin blades of the Shadow Vixen, I shall have my revenge. The walls of memory are stained with blood, and I would see them bloodier still.
That was quite the radical change we witnessed. I never would have thought that the benign old man we met outside would turn out to be a vengeance-driven aficionado of assassins.
By the fire.
Indeed. Victoria probably doesn't even know about her past, and yet she's on a, let's call him eccentrics, hit list.
Victoria!
It's official. The Duke of Ferrol is the worst poet in Rivellon.
In his defense, not much rhymes with murder. They here, all right, but that doesn't solve the mystery.
Nothing for it. Keep looking for more clues.
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets. Ah, hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate me for information I don't have, like our noble Captain Aureus before you. Which one? I've written, Esmeralda, more works of lyrical mastery than I can count. All that letter proves is my devotion to my lady, not any actual intention to do away with Jake.
knight in see-through armor? Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom? Jageta, friend. Kira Lizor. Oh, do pardon my language, my friend. But that is quite the startling revelation. So much sadness, so much anguish. Eglandir's tale is heartrending, though it seems that in the pursuit of retribution, he has himself become as great a ghoul as those that wronged him. Does he not see that I am now the one who is to be wronged? Why, oh why must he make me, of all gentle-minded and life-loving creatures, why must he make me the target of his imperishable hate? Whom have I ever harmed? I live for books, not brutality. So, let us approach the situation with reason and ask ourselves, where do we go from here? Though, first let me say this. Hashizm bil kushum zunum. From my heart, I thank you for warning me. I thank you and I trust you. So pray, let me pose the question. What do you advise we should do? Leg Fizoda! Yes, a capital notion. Let him be brought before the law for his schemes. I am an innocent, and Eglandir would see me dead. That is a grave offense, is it not? It would probably be better if you rather than I informed Captain Aureus, though. He bears little goodwill toward me ever since my more savage brethren have been marauding the beaches and killing his legionnaires. Yes? Have you decided what should be done about him? My amulet? But it is Haxmagi, a sacred token that houses the presence of my ancestors. No, I cannot part with my talisman, the keepsake of my soul. When you put it like that, I guess I cannot say that it is. I do this very reluctantly, but fine. Have my talisman. May it fool the elf that would see me dead.
Made a big change on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
You call to Wolgraff. He awaits your queries. Wolgraff gives a curt, disgruntled nod, and with a gesture that suggests the drinking out of a mug of ale, he seems to indicate he'll be at the King Crab Inn, should you change your mind.
Here I wait for thee in the dark. Yes, yes. Have you made the orc feel the black and biting cold center toward the gangling grip of the greedy grey?
Yes, so it is. So it is. By Angus, the Impaler's favourite steak, you've done well by me. Oh, Ravager of Gazaldagar, the last of their line is dead. The House of Gandavon has been avenged. Sweet flowing blood. The quest of decay is at an end. My wealth is yours. My life is death's. By the hollow sockets of the Voidwood Eye Gouger, I bid thee thanks and fond farewell.
You there, cut it out.
You call to Ulgraf. A wide smile.
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave?
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets.
Tell me, Alistair,
I assume you address me only fool.
fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge.
Fortune? Ha! He should be so lucky as to be defeated by Alistair the Great.
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt you could even fathom, old friend. Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Ha! The closest I've got to my match is when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
Damon, do you now?
Heard any good tales? May the hunt...
Whatever happened to that troop of eager imbeciles we sent to the northern cave?
Do I seem like the sort who concerns myself with such things?
You'll be concerned enough when you realize that reward money won't be lining your pockets.
Tell me, Alistair. I am on the trail, so find my friend.
You call to Ulgraf. Ulgraf gives.
Fortune? Ha!
Man with many cheeses.
Volume 1, Volume 2. But where has the third one gone? Chateau Jageta. He has gone. Oh, Dijlazim az Ajtenek. You have saved me. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. It is a terror to know someone prays for your demise, but you have undone it. The sun that is your chivalry has dissolved the dew that was Eglandir's hate. May the gods bless your heart and shield your soul from harm. Volume 1, Volume 2. But where has...
He's on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Potions to bemuscle you, scrolls to entussle you.
Today, I think, a king. The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elbaf, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself.
cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Let us see it.
What? Oh, it's you! What news? You managed to drive him away? But what if he comes back? Are we destined to live in fear forever after? Someone wants to see Victoria dead? That cherub of the book? That seraph of the library? Outrageous! Hear you me. You must stop that dog by any means necessary. As mayor of Sicil, you have my permission to take drastic measures if need be. Jake? Murdered, you say? Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Now I remember. Well, I'm sure the facts will prove me innocent. Keep investigating. You'll see for yourselves in time.
I've spotted something interesting.
The earth here seems to have been freshly fertilized and aerated. Obviously, someone has taken great care to maintain this gravesite. Are you sure you want to disturb it?
And a disgrace to whomever is maintaining this gravesite, too.
You step away from the grave.
Deserving of life. Come, make your case.
To what do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter? Well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner when it comes to making difficult medical decisions. I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the time comes. She is learning from the best, after all. Yes, yes. If that's how we're referring to the secretive use of a revolutionary healing method she refuses to share with her own master. She's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you can prevail upon her to offer a demonstration. She's gotten hold of a stone, supposedly capable of fantastic feats of healing, but she won't let me take the briefest look at it. But she claims to have gotten the relic from a little northern town, Silverglen by name, and that an abbot there blessed it with the power to heal. Utter rubbish, I say. But with these blasted undead haunting the travel routes, I can hardly march up to Silverglen to learn the truth myself.
Healing
His very
stone.
existence?
Interesting indeed.
Nothing sets me on edge like inexplicable magic.
Excuse me? This is a private sick room. Who in the name of the Seven do you think you are barging in here? Out, I say, right this instant. I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I to meddle with life and death this way? I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing! But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I have but one healing stone, you see, and 2 direly wounded men who need it. I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation, but perhaps it's better off in the hands of an esteemed source hunter. Surely you are more accustomed to weighing life and death than I. What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. A young man, but excellent in matters of business, before he fell victim to an orcish club in the north, that is.
Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him, nearly dead, but not quite so, and brought him here straight away. Quite the venerable staple of Seal, Stephen, and recently blessed with his 3rd grandchild. He was leading a crew of builders when a stray beam struck him in the temple, and only a few days shy of his last day of work before retirement, no less. Nearly everyone in Seal is familiar with Grinning Stephen, and, as you can imagine, he's quite dear to his family. Yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loic by name, in the northern town of Silver Glen. He is of a certain faith, the Immaculates, they call themselves, that espouses the belief that certain stones can heal wounded flesh. I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but something happened as he handed me the stone. A small cut on my finger instantly healed, leaving no trace of the wound. Needless to say, I was astounded. But it's strange. The stone is only good for a single use at a time before it reverts to a useless, inert state. It takes time to regain its magical properties, and I guard it cautiously. You are? I thank you a million times for your help. Who have you decided should receive the healing stone?
Yes. Boris deserves to experience all the pleasures of life that Stephen has already enjoyed.
Boris it is? Yes. I'll deliver the stone. I'm glad we'll get to save one man, but my heart breaks for the other.
Thank the seven.
No! This is highly abnormal! What is this? It's lightning!
I don't know what I did to deserve this, but
Bless the seven, I am restored.
Now, that tone.
Sorry, friend.
Soothing.
I wish there were enough
corpses.
stones
I was really
for
hoping
mine.
to find something better.
Far.
I'm feeling stronger already. 1,000 thanks to you, my hero. I promise I won't waste the life you've given me. What will I do? What won't I do? Seeing how short life can be, how easily it can be taken from you. I'll see it all, do it all, and after I've climbed every mountain in Rivellon, and smooched every girl who'll have me, I'll devote myself to learning the magic that saved me. Everyone deserves to feel the thrill of a renewed life. I'll see you around then. I'm liable to spring out of this bed at any minute.
Can't say I didn't want to live. Wanted it with every fiber of my heart. Not just for my own sake, but for my family, you know. Oh, my Matilda. What'll my sweet Matilda do? Enjoy what remains of your life, will you? Never know when it'll be snatched out from under you.
Stones for both of us. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm beyond
Thank you eternally for your help. Though your reaction to the healing stone, I have no idea what to make of it. That strange reaction you caused. Blue lightning from a healing stone. I've never seen anything like it. And the stone looks different now, too. Like it's devoid of life. I begin to wonder if its magical properties survived your little reaction. I've been studying under Theliron for some time now, but that task, being asked to play the gods, was the first time I've ever questioned my, well, suitability for the work. I've a passion for this work, you see. A passion to see things put in order. From a flesh wound healed to an entire city made resistant to a fatal illness. What right has something as trivial as a wound or as senseless as an epidemic to take a human life? Is that so? Well, I handled the corpse myself, indeed, but I hardly knew the man in life. I was shocked when Ahu asked me to come to the crime scene, but Theliron had taken ill, and the responsibility fell to me. I arrived at the inn, where the body lay just where it had fallen. The injuries were like nothing I'd ever seen. A single intricate laceration wove like lace around every inch of his skin. Neither a beginning nor an ending point were discernible. I examined the corpse and recorded what information I could. I personally delivered the corpse the short distance to the mortician's house. As far as I know, everything was, as far as a magical murder is concerned, quite normal.
No, I know it's here somewhere. I wouldn't want to ruin this particular batch of party elixir with too much wormwood.
I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm beyond grateful. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but
I'm beyond grateful enough that her little party tricks hardly make her worthy of such grave.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
You there? You look like an actor just waiting for you.
The hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth. So, what piece of irrefutable evidence are you about to present me with this time? Oh, don't put stock in the hastily scribbled words of a lovelorn fool! This letter, it was a show of passion! A poorly worded passion I did not echo in the least. The Duke, he's like a spoiled child. He's not a man. He's not like Septimus. But all of it is circumstantial. I've a perfectly logical explanation for every piece of so-called evidence against me, and yet you've been trailing me like a bloodhound. People seem to want to believe I am guilty, so let me tell you something I've been keeping to myself. Perhaps it may yet lead to the true culprit. Over the last few months, Jake grew distant. Distant and dark somehow. Something in him changed. I can't quite put my finger on it, but he was no longer the gentleman he used to be. In fact, he scared me. It all began the day he met Evelyn, Master Theliron's apprentice. She healed him of what we all believe to be a fatal wound he suffered hunting boars. I think he became obsessed by her, or obsessed by the secrets I just know she holds. Talk to this woman. There is more to her than meets the eye. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if she belongs to that sect. You know, to those who worship a goddess without name and practice rituals of blood. I never liked her from the moment I met her. Men cannot see past her beauty, but I have gazed her in the eye and it was death that leered back at me. She hails from Silverglen, a village in the forest north of Sicil. How she made it past the undead without a Legion escort, I'll never know. Though I can hazard an eerie guess. If anyone killed my Jake, it must be her. She had her claws in him for many long months, and finally she must have cut too deeply.
Legion's greetings, Hunter. You claim to possess evidence that implicates Lady Esmeralda in the murder of her husband? Well, let's have it then. So it was Jake's? Of course. He read it so as to outfox lurking assassins. Alas that it failed him. Alas that it is now used to slander his grieving widow. Used for cookery, was it? Well, that settles it. A perfectly innocent explanation for a perfectly innocent activity. Dearest Esmeralda, I never doubted her. There now, she was stringing Ferrol along. Ha! A pampered brat, that Duke, just like she says. Barks worse than his bite, no doubt. He'll be gone from here the instant he can, but I'll still be here, steadfast and by Milady's side.
Assure me, dear Septimus, that you haven't been fighting those awful orcs. I can't bear to imagine something would happen to you.
Oh, but don't you worry.
Thank the seven we secure.
Come on! Come on! Can't you hear the stage calling you?
You there! Sit! Stay a while. Right in front. I'll excite you. I'll delight you. I'll beguile you. I'll besmile you. I'm Cedric the Sensational, and I'm playing to an empty audience. Don't pity me. No, sir. Just a few years ago, I was the all-singing, all-dancing, all-sensational darling of the town. People came from far and wide just to witness my amazing act. When Reginald came, he brought some fantastic prop with him. Now, have you seen it? A talking head! Now, I never expected a silly gimmick like that to be my main competition. It seems even my usually choosy audience has been taken in by that hack's little gizmo. I'm a man of skill, sleight of hand, feats of wit, and pure entertainment. This curio is ruining what used to be an art. And even when there's no crowd to speak of, old Reggie still has at least one fan calling bravo and hee-haw. Sure as the sun sets, that one devotee attracts 5 more, and those 5 more all curious about the commotion. I don't know how he inspires such loyalty with less talent contained between his hat and his boots than I've in my crusty handkerchief.
Fantastic!
Bravo! Bravo!
Zombie ate your dog? Orc sunk your ship? No matter! You're at Katerina's Fair, a veritable summer home for troubled minds. Won't you take a seat and let our esteemed entertainers whisk you off to a better place? Well, I'm Katerina the Fair, fairest first lady of the fair, of course. I do love making the acquaintance of my patrons, and who knows which of them might become one of my performers. I've an open stage in want of talent, and I've often found the best young performers among the rank and file of the audience. The theatre's fever has overcome you, has it? Marvelous! I do so love a fresh green talent ready to bloom. But I support players, not writers, you see. If you want to perform here, you'll have to find tried and true material. Check the library and see if any of the classics there interest you. I'd love to see a Source Hunters take on one of the old standards. Right away, my dear, just as fast as your boots can carry you. You've found something decent to perform, I trust, and you've gathered enough actors to do it justice? Speak to Master Chaucer if you're ready for your debut. He alone can adequately prepare you for the stage.
My word.
Fantastic!
So ardently did he crave creamy blues and gory reds that he ordered
Bravo!
a contest
Yeehaw!
across his realm.
You there! Take a seat. Prepare to laugh your head off, cry your eyes out, and teeter on the edge of your seat with an original tale from Stefan, the talking severed head. What a generous spectator! Find a seat in the front, eh? I am Reginald the Illusionist, purveyor of the most amazing artifact in Andevale. This fantastical talking head. Catch the act while you can. This show will only remain in Sicil as long as there are Legion soldiers to entertain. Ha! Yes, I know of that Talentus bull. He was here entertaining the troops before I was brought in. I'm sure the hack simply bored his audience to tears until they cried for a replacement. Enter Reginald the Illusionist. We need our boys in red happy, relaxed, and ready to fight. Not wasting their energies cringing at a fool with a depressed rabbit in a borrowed hat. That's right, a talking head. And he doesn't just talk. He'll weave you a yarn so fantastic, you'll be begging to hear just one more, and just one more. It's quite a story how I found him, too. I obtained this curio by some rather sensational means. You see, I was diving in search of a rare medicinal sea herb. I volunteer with the local children's apothecary on weekends, in the shallows around Sicil's own Black Cove, when I spotted something amazing. The chest belonging to the fabled Captain Pontius. Though the chest was stuck fast, I summoned a swell of great strength and prized it free from the ancient rock. I had the treasure of a lifetime in my very hands. But then, slurp, gulp, I was swallowed by an ornery kraken that seemed to appear from nowhere. In the hubbub, I lost hold of my prize and watched it sink to the bottom of the beast's cavernous belly. Still, I feared only for a moment that all was futile. Before my mind's eye swam the faces of the many war widows and leprotic orphans who would be lost without my charitable support. I knew I had to live. Grabbing fast to the hilt of a cutlass that floated by at just that moment, I summoned all my strength to slash a great gash in the creature's gut. Freeing myself from my would-be tomb, I swam as quickly as I could, first to the surface and then to the shore. It was there, along the rocky beach, that I tripped over this talking head. Strange, isn't it?
Come in. The great Sigurd and his rainbow the stage calling you.
And who are you supposed to be? Oh, I should have been one of the greats. But here I am gathering peasants to watch peasants perform broadside pageants for peanuts.
No, really? I hadn't
Noticed? If not for this ridiculous condition, you'd know me as the king's favorite thespian. Katerina's given the go-ahead, has she? Oh, very well then. Tell me when you're ready to begin, and I'll show you to your places and gather you whatever crowd of drunken yokels can be prevailed upon to watch you flail about on stage. Ready for your trial by fire, you mean? There's no more savage foe than an audience, my dear. But I'm sure you'll do just fine. May the show begin! Not planning on playing to an empty audience, are you? Wait until I've gathered some victims to witness the spectacle, and then you can begin. Any last words?
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity as a small crowd shuffles toward your stage. A few moments longer, and everyone will be seated. Now, let's not be hasty. They may be dragging their feet, but your show is sure to knock the crowd's socks off. As soon as they settle into their seats, that is. Now, let's not be hasty. They may be dragging their feet, but your show is sure to knock the crowd's socks off. As soon as they settle into their seats, that is. The stage is yours.
Bravo! Yeehaw! Bravo! Yeehaw! By the seven, what a tale!
The crowd is completely appalled by your retelling. Are you sure that's how the story goes? Perhaps you ought to study a bit more and try again later.
Disappointing.
What is it this time?
Not planning on playing to an empty...
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity as a small crowd shuffles toward your stage. Now, let's not be hasty. They may be dragging their feet, but your show is sure to knock the crowd's socks off. As soon as they settle into their seats, that is.
By the seven, what a tale! Fantastic!
My woman! Good show!
The stage is yours. The crowd is completely appalled by your...
What is it this time? Oh, here we...
Not planning on playing...
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity as a small crowd shuffles toward your stage. A few moments longer, and everyone will be seated. The stage is yours.
Good show!
The crowd seems to know the tale. They wholly approve of your beginning.
Simply marvelous!
Bravo!
Good show!
Fantastic!
The audience seems perplexed by your retelling. Perplexed and enraged.
Is it too late to get my gold back? Anyone got an old tomato?
The crowd is completely appalled by your retelling. Are you sure that's how the story goes?
What is it this time?
Katarina's, tell me when you're ready to begin and I'll show you to your places. And really? Fine. You were absolutely glad you asked. Oh, here we go again. Try not to embarrass yourself too terribly, please. Not planning on playing to an empty audience, are you? Wait until I've gathered some victims to witness the spectacle, and then you can begin. Any last words?
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity as a small crowd shuffles toward your stage. A few moments longer, and everyone will be seated.
My word!
Fantastic!
Bravo! Yeehaw!
The stage is yours.
Bravo! Bravo!
The crowd seems to know the tale. They wholly approve of your beginning.
Oh, I hope there's an encore!
The crowd is thrilled. Whatever will happen next is sure to excite them.
Good show! Bravo!
The crowd seem quite impressed with your delivery. Keep it up.
Fantastic!
Bravo!
The crowd gasps. They're on the edge of their seats. Go on. Push them over.
Bravo! Bravo!
Gasps ring out across the audience. They must know how it ends. They simply must. The crowd explodes into applause and appreciation. You've woven them a tale of desperation and hope, and they're alive with the thrill of it.
It's a
What
future.
is it this time?
Bravo! 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 Well, I'm certainly not afraid of admitting when I'm wrong. That was, well, nearly enjoyable. I suppose you earned yourself a little something for your trouble. Wouldn't you agree? What is it? Oh, here we go again. Try not to embarrass yourself too terribly, please.
Enjoying the fair, aren't you? Of course you are. Entertainment is Katerina's #1 export to this gloomy town.
You there! You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
What is it this time? Oh, not planning on playing to...
You hear distant mutterings of curiosity as a small crowd shuffles toward your stage. A few moments longer, and everyone will be seated. The stage is yours.
Simply marvelous.
The crowd seems to know the tale. They wholly approve of your beginning.
Simply marvellous!
The crowd is thrilled. Whatever will happen next is sure to excite them.
What a tale!
The crowd seem quite impressed with your delivery. Keep it up.
Oh, I hope there's an encore.
The crowd gasps. They're on the edge of their seats. Go on. Push them over. Gasps ring out across the audience. They must know how it ends. They simply must. The crowd explodes into applause and appreciation. You've woven them a tale of desperation and hope, and they are alive with the thrill of it.
Fantastic! Bravo! Bravo!
Blues and gory reds that he ordered a contest.
What are you looking at me for? There's a great show going on right in front of you. And look, there stands the world-famous Reginald the Entertainer. Better check it out if you don't want to miss the time of your life. Oh, I'm nothing but your average man taking in the best show I've ever seen. I'm amazed and astounded that for a meager gold coin or two, I can take in this first-rate entertainment all day long. Well, I've stumbled into quite the fine gig. I'll just let my appreciation for Reggie's work be known, and he slips me a few gold coins in return. My voice happens to carry pretty far. Cecile hears me. Cecile wants to see what the fuss is all about. And let me tell you, this amazing show just can't be beat. Well, drawing a crowd's what I do best, and I'd be glad to do it for your little show. 100 gold up front, and yours will be the hottest ticket in Cecile. 98, 99, 100. Looks like all's in order, Chief. So, ready for a bigger crowd than you can shake a stick at? Stand back and watch this.
Contest across his realm. Today, I think, a king. The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself.
What are you looking at me for? There's a great show going on. Well, what are you looking at me? Well, I've stumbled into quite the fine gig. I just...
I'm nothing but your average man. What are you looking at me for? Oh, I'm nothing but your average man.
It is said, and this I have heard from
My word!
Ah, a familiar face. Come, watch the show. I promise it'll take your mind off beheading baddies, or whatever it is you do with all those muscles.
My word. Bravo! Yeehaw!
Come on! Come all! Can't you hear the stage calling you?
I, a person whose sole job is to praise the performance and stir a crowd. A genius invention. No wonder Reginald has had such success. I knew his act couldn't have outshone mine on its merits alone. Please, you must hire him for me. Imagine the scowl on that con man. Please don't pity me when Reginald.
Come all! Can't you hear the stage calling you?
What are you looking at me for? There's a great... Well, I don't see why I should. Reginald and I have grown rather friendly, you know? And in any case, it'll be hard to pull myself away from this fantastic show.
Did he crave creamy blues and gory reds?
Fantastic!
That he ordered a contest across his realm.
My word!
Today, I think, a
My
king.
word!
The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself,
Fantastic.
that the king had a great thirst for colour. So ardently did he crave creamy blues and
Fantastic.
gory reds that he ordered a contest across his realm.
Well, I guess it's been long enough since I've stretched my wings a bit, and it ain't so far of a flight now, is it? Maybe I will have a peek at what Cedric's up to over there.
Who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself.
A familiar face.
For his big debut. You there? You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut. You there? You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut. You there? You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
Wow.
Cruel fortune.
This is the finest show in the land!
You there? You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
Can you spare a coin?
Oh, wow. Hey, it's you again! I don't have to tell you that Cedric's act will help you banish belly fat and inspire your kids to say no to drugs.
Oh, that Gallagher is quite the performer. One of my own ilk. Sometimes all the flies need is a little honey, eh? And things are certainly buzzing around here. Oh, just like old times. The rush, the thrill. What a delight. Please stay and enjoy the show, though you may have some trouble finding a seat.
All right.
You there? You look like
all
an
right.
actor just waiting for his big debut. Wow.
All right.
Come on! Come on! Can't you hear the stage calling
This is
you?
the finest show in the land! This is the finest show in the land!
Actor just waiting for his big debut.
All right.
Cedric's show is a doozy!
Just
Woo!
waiting for his big debut. You look like an actor just waiting for his big debut.
All right. The talking head was really something compared to this. But who wants to watch a show all by one's lonesome?
Quite the commotion over here. What's all the fuss about?
Well, I'll be a goblin's uncle. I hadn't the faintest clue there was another show over here.
Quite the commotion over here. What's all the fuss about?
The talking head was really something compared to this. But who wants to watch a show all by one's lonesome?
Quite the commotion over here. What's all the fuss about?
Oh, that Gallagher. Oh.
Hey, it's you again! I don't have to tell you that I'm happy to laugh my head off at the finest show in Sicile as long as Cedric keeps paying me to say so. Oh, son of a ghoul. I mean, keeps performing these amazing feats. Oh, I'm nothing but your average man taking in the best show.
All right.
Come on! Can't you hear the stage calling you?
Wow.
You there! Strange! You appear to be my only client. Did the whole of Sicile eat some bad chicken, or what? Aye, these Sicilian cows wouldn't dare chew their cud without the full support of the herd. Without my crowd warmer, I can't attract a crowd for the life of me. I knew that fool could never have garnered so much as a guffaw on his own merits. I'll see to this matter immediately.
What? Where is everyone trotting off?
Performers, showmen, show all
Cedric's
of
show is a doozy!
Sicile, what
Woo!
you're made of.
All right.
It's all over now. Without my clients, I'll starve. I'll be thrown into the cold. I'll have to sell my favorite silk underthings just to pay for firewood. This inbred fool of a monkey has ruined me.
All right.
All right.
'Tis I, Reginald
This
the
is the
Illusionist.
finest show in the land!
Oh, that.
The Illusionist.
Sicile, what you're
Hey,
made
it's
of.
you!
Flatulence.
'Tis I. It's all over now. Don't speak that name in my presence. I'm certain he's either bewitched or bribed my crowd away from me. There's an old saying in show business. If your benches are empty once, they'll be empty forever. Looks like old Reginald's reputation is wrecked. Who am I? Without a swelling crowd calling bravo, I am no one.
Come on! Come on! Can't you hear the stage calling you?
Reginald the Illusionist.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to prepare for the next show. Autographs will have to wait until the end. I doubt I have to tell you that I am the amazing singing Stefan, the only sentient severed head in Sicile. My audience sings my praises from hill and dale. Psst, you're a source hunter, aren't you? Oh, bless the seven. Look, you've got to help me. I've been kidnapped. Pleasure to meet you. Now, please, Stefan has many fans to meet today. Psst, help me. Take me to Reginald's cellar. There I will reveal everything. It won't be the worst indignation I've suffered. Get on with it then. Ah, here we are. Wait a moment, this isn't Reginald's cellar. Come, Source Hunter, we must have... Not here, not now. We'll... It won't be the worst. Not here, not now. We'll be better off speaking in the privacy of the cellar. You know the healer's clinic, don't you? Oh, what's his name? Theliron. Yes, behind Theliron's house of healing, along the cliffs, you'll find Reginald's sparse little shack. There I know we won't be overheard. He keeps a spare key right near the place in a pen guarded by a rather lonely little sheep. You can't miss the bugger. Not here, not now. It won't be the worst. Not here, not now. You know the healer's clinic, don't you? Oh, what's it? He keeps a spare key right near the place in a pen guarded by a rather lonely little sheep. You can't miss the bugger. To Reginald's cellar, Source Hunter, before we're seen. Sees us, he'll have you arrested and me fitted with a muzzle. To the cellar, post haste. Not here, not now. We'll be better. It won't be the... Ah, a little privacy at last. Out of earshot of that contemptible... That charlatan doesn't have a lick of his own talent. So he begs, borrows and beats it from those of us with a real vision for the stage. What I wouldn't give to give old Reggie a swift kick in the jugglers. Oh, to have legs again. My true name is Nick. In life, I was an entertainer aboard the ship of the famed Pontius Pirate. I once dared to defy him and he savagely beheaded me for the attempt. Little did I know the abuse was only beginning. A wandering sorcerer, mad as the day is long, found my severed head on the beach and resurrected me. I spent months in his company listening to him blather on about his every inane opinion. When I asked him to return my head to my body, it must be in the Black Cove still, he became enraged and tossed my head into the sea. Reginald stumbled upon me some days later and consigned me into his horrid little show. I know not how long I've been entertaining slack-jawed imbeciles at the Sicil Fair. All I know is I just can't take it anymore. More than anything. But the chances are so slim with the Black Cove utterly infested with Pontius's undead cronies. My poor lost body is among them, sightless and silent in their vile company. For all I know, they're using it as a coat rack. Traveller, if there were any way you would brave the cove's depths and reunite me with myself, you'd be doing me the only kindness I'd have received in as long as my poor memory serves. It won't be the worst indignation I've suffered. Get on with it then.
What's that gleam? To what do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter? Far be it from her to tell her master what in the seven's name she's up to. The girl flew from here like she just heard the location of the Philosopher's Stone. She even left her pouch unattended in the next room. Most unlike her, to be sure. She usually keeps it within sight at all times. Very strange she'd leave it behind. It's in the next room if you'd like to take a look. I'd try her house, for starters. It's not far from here. I'll mark the location on your map. Oh!
You call to Ulgraf. He awaits your query. A wide smile.
Come now, Alistair. Surely you've met your match once or twice.
Ha! The closest I've got to my match is when I linger over long...
She'll realise soon enough that her little party tricks hardly make her worthy of such grave responsibilities. Soothing a corpse's troubled mind. Can't have gotten far. The tone, soothing a corpse's troubled mind. Can't have gotten far. To what do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter? Far be it from her to tell her master what in the... I'd try her house, for starters. It's not far from here. I'll mark the location on you.
I mustn't have used it correctly. I mustn't have used it correctly. I mustn't have used it correctly.
To what do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter? Far be it from her to tell her master what in the seven's name I'd try her house, for starters. She usually keeps it within sight.
I mustn't have used it correctly.
A source hunter! Oh, what a sight for sore Sicilian eyes! Me? I live alone here in town. Used to be that my younger brother Tom and I were practically joined at the hip, but that's all changed now. Oh, he's always been something of a rascal, calling his petty hooliganism adventuring and endlessly worrying my poor mind. Oh, but of course, I've always loved that scamp to bits. For my part, I encouraged him to join the Legion. Even got him sparring with Captain Orius now and then. But then those blasted Fabulous Five came into town. That band of... I don't even know what to call them. Well, they're his heroes, and I simply couldn't prevent him from going to see them. That one meeting was all it took for Tom to run off with them on some mission to God knows where. Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom? Stentakel. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she?
For the will of the good stuff.
Daemon Daemonium. I'll find you yet. Only fool...
I mustn't have used it correctly.
They say he's privy to ancient and arcane secrets, the likes of which I doubt.
I'm overheating here!
To leave the city is to venture into danger. Be careful, Source Hunter.
I'd
Murder within the walls, undead outside the walls, and here we legionnaires sit twiddling our thumbs.